What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1994 Lincoln Mark VIII convertible. Up front is a 4.6-liter V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Lincoln Mark VIII convertible because Lincoln never offered this as a convertible from the factory. This is actually a coach-built vehicle, and they only built 23 of them. This particular vehicle was originally owned by Jerry Lee Lewis, famous musician whose most famous song is Great Balls of Fire. So, today we're going to be seeing if the top of my head becomes a great ball of fire without a roof. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackbradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And huge thank you to Mike, the Retro Realtor, for letting me borrow this vehicle. He has a more in-depth video of this car on his channel if you would like to go check it out for more information. But let's get back to the convertible top. What makes this so special? Well, like I said, this car was sent off to Coach Builders Limited, and it had the roof chopped off. They only made 23 of them, so this is quite the rare bird. Some of the changes include under chassis bracing. Because you no longer have a roof, they had to stiffen the chassis a little bit. The doors of the Lincoln Mark VIII were normally frame doors, so when you open it, you just see this sort of weird jagged arm. The seat belts were remounted down low because there is no B-pillar. Additional corner windows were added for the windows. Obviously, the soft top and power mechanism, the switch to control that, and a third brake light was added because the normal third brake light for the Lincoln Mark VIII is up near the roof, which has been cut off. But let's get back to the mechanics. This has the same 4.6-liter V8 found in all Lincoln Mark VIII. It's really technically a Mustang Cobra engine, about 280 horsepower, and it makes this car quite the little rocket ship. Well, not little, but it makes it quite the rocket ship. It was fast, especially for its day, which gave this car a lot of credit. Hot rodders tend to kind of gravitate towards one of these cars, and I can see why. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. Traditional 4-speed you'll find in the Crown Victoria, Marauder, Grand Marquis of the same era. Nothing new there. And to finish it out, the Lincoln Mark VIII is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the convertible Mark VIII? Well, obviously, it still floats and boats. It still has the air suspension in place. Although the chassis is a little bit heavier, I honestly don't notice it. It's just so fun to be driving a V8 convertible that wasn't really supposed to exist, but it does exist anyway, so that's very, very neat. Visibility is good, great when the roof is off, and it's a nice, relaxing drive. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 3 main gauges. Off to the left is my tachometer, in the center is my speedometer, and off to the right is my coolant temperature and fuel. On the steering wheel, I do get my cruise control options, and off to the left we have our panel dim auto lamp and our headlights, as well as our climate control vent, and down below, this is the added power operation for the convertible top. Moving on to the door, we do have JBL speakers, as well as our power mirror adjustments and memory seat options, lock and unlock, and power windows, along with the trunk and fuel door down below. Moving into the center, we do get 2 climate vents as well as a digital readout. Now, this digital readout was designed for a roof, and so any digital screen in here is absolutely unreadable if you're in the sun. So kind of an afterthought or oversight, I guess, when chopping the roof off, but you pay the price for a drop top. Down below, we have our settings for that little screen that's so hard to read. We have range, status, economy, reset, system check, and our compass, as well as oil change reset, measurement, and clock. Down below, we have an aftermarket radio, because any radio from this era isn't going to keep up with modern tech. Our climate controls still operational here, although the sun has been rather rude to the buttons down below, and they've all chipped off. We have a 12-volt outlet, our traction assist button, and these 2 extra window switches. These are for the little rear corner windows that were added when it was converted to a convertible. Shifter is pretty typical of this era from the Ford Motor Company, so nothing new there. We do have an ashtray as well as a cup holder, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test. However, as predicted, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then we get a center console and the seats. The seats are very, very comfortable. Lincoln knew what they were doing back in this era, and I like that. The seats are unchanged, however, because there's no roof, and this leather was never designed to see the sunlight, they're a little worse for wear, and there is a cigarette burn from Jerry Lee Lewis. So, kind of neat there. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the Lincoln Mark VIII convertible. They also did have to remove the release for the front seats, because normally you pull a switch and then get in the back, but because it's convertible, they actually removed that. It's also a lot easier to get in without a roof in the way. Ugh, ow. Once we are back here, the actual materials of the seats, very comfortable, very cushy. The sizing, the spacing, less so for sure. I do like the Lincoln badges on here, and these aftermarket hooks for the seat belts kind of protrude and stabbed me in the back. Actually, literally, not figuratively like an enemy in a comic book. It actually hit my backbone. But other than that, I do have a 12-volt outlet. That's pretty much it. Fun in the sun in the back of a Lincoln Mark VIII convertible, of which I bet few people have ever had the opportunity to sit in. But let's talk about the very back in terms of the trunk. All right, around the back of the Lincoln Mark VIII, and before we actually go into the trunk, I do want to touch on the added third brake light one more time. Like I said, this was added just for the convertible, and the owner told me that he's been told that this is from a C4 Corvette. Now, him and I both have looked at C4 Corvettes, and we don't think it's that. So if you have any idea what this third brake light might have been pulled from, please let us know. But once we are back here, pull that off to the side, circle key, and pull it up like that. Nothing too crazy in the trunk here besides the fact that this is the original 6-disc CD changer for the Lincoln. However, obviously it doesn't work anymore because the radio's been replaced, and we can pull this up. We do get our spare tire. Decent amount of trunk space. As you'll see, the convertible top does not actually protrude into the trunk space pretty much at all, which is very, very nice. It's very hard to find convertibles with any manageable trunk space, let alone this much. So really, really love seeing all of that in the back of the Lincoln Mark VIII convertible. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and obviously I like the normal look of the Mark VIII. I think it looks good as a convertible. It looks like it should have been a convertible from the factory, but again, this was not a factory vehicle. So Coach Builders Limited really knocked it out of the park with the styling of the roof. I don't think it ruins any of the lines or makes it too atrocious. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Lincoln Mark VIII convertible? Well, I'm fortunate enough to have driven the Lincoln Mark VIII here on the channel before, but many, many years ago. And I like it. I think the Mark VIII is a really slept-on vehicle. It makes good power, it's very comfortable, and it's basically a coupe Lincoln town car at the end of the day. It's not, but you know, grand scheme, it kind of is. But then to chop the roof off and to make it something so special, I've never seen an aftermarket convertible feel so proper. It feels like this is how this car should have gone. Now, if it did come like this from the factory, I would hope that they would put some tan leather in here to really spice it up and offer that more beach cruiser mentality, but I guess the black leather's fine. This just feels right. It just feels right, and it feels very luxurious, which is what they were going for when obviously designing this vehicle. And so beyond anything else, it was just cool to spend some time in a custom vehicle owned by a celebrity. And I hope you enjoyed poking around it here with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as a whole. Huge thank you to Mike, the Retro Realtor, for letting me borrow his Lincoln Mark VIII convertible for this video. He is absolutely awesome. Like I said, he has other content not only in this car, he has a couple other vintage cars that he makes content with too. He's absolutely wonderful, really, really nice, down-to-earth guy, and I appreciate him very, very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.